Hey everybody, here's a little update on my Raptor R. It's a 2025 Raptor R. I got it a couple weeks ago. It now has 450-ish miles on it. So far it's been pretty amazing. It rained yesterday, so it's kind of dirty. I did get a backflip MX4 for it. I just need to install it. I got some bed cleats. I got a bed rug for it. Um, so let's see, where do I start here? Compared to the Gen 2 Raptor, this is actually much nicer. It's much more comfortable. It's got a lot more features. Just even like now, I'm walking around it, the lights come on. There's like lights underneath the mirrors that'll light up as soon as you even get near the truck, which is a pretty cool feature. These little rigid lights though, they're not very good. They're pretty awful actually. I had the Baja Designs lights on mine, or my Gen 2 Raptor, and they were so much brighter, so much better. These are basically like factory fog, and these are like a very near field fog that's down low, like you know, in front of the car. You can kind of barely see it when you're in the car. These are kind of in between the fog lights and the headlight pattern that's on the road. It doesn't go above the headlights, definitely stays below the headlights, definitely goes higher than the fog lights, so it kind of fills in. I don't know why they are covered from the factory. There's like little caps. I assume they're not road legal, so you have to have the caps on them, but I don't see why, because they don't point up very high. I think that the Baja Designs lights are just much nicer. I would probably like to change those, but I'm just going to leave it because there's like a parking sensor here. I don't think you can change this to like the Baja Designs Trio type of system, like on the Gen 2 Raptor. So far, I was a little bit concerned about gas mileage because, you know, I mean, concerned but not concerned. I kind of expected it to be awful. It's getting about 9.6 miles per gallon around town. Surprisingly, I got 11.3, I think, on the highway. So it is pretty darn good, because my other Gen 2 Raptor, the V6 twin turbo, got 13.5 highway. So we're kind of splitting hairs. It's really not that big a deal. A couple miles in a tank of 36. So what is that? A range of 72 miles difference. Well, it's kind of significant, but not terrible. Not terrible. It's about $175 to fill it up. So far, let's open this up. A couple of neat features that I found. Some cost-cutting measures. So my Gen 2 Raptor had the 802A and had the Recaro seats and everything, so it was pretty loaded, had everything. It came with these bed cleats that you put on there, onto the hooks for you know, tying stuff down. And I don't know how much they cost, like $50 maybe. They're no longer included with the truck. Considering the MSRP, you would think that they would include it, but it's not. Another cost-cutting measure I discovered is that the headrests normally have B&O speakers in them, and I think in 2025 they've removed them. I've never heard the B&O system in the 2024 and 2023, so I don't know if the speakers really made that much of a difference, but it's kind of interesting that they got rid of that feature. Let's see, what else did they do? Everybody complains that the running board doesn't say Raptor anymore. They complain that the back of the key, let me grab my keys, start my truck, that the back of the keys also don't say Raptor anymore. They just say Ford. And I don't know, man, that doesn't matter at all to me. I just thought the Raptor one was kind of cool because it had lines right here instead of a flat surface. So it's kind of easier to tell front and back. But, you know, you figure it out. It's no big deal. I find myself feeling for these buttons a little more, because I'm trying to find that when I'm trying to remote start when it's in my pocket. When they had the lines on it, it was pretty obvious, but now it doesn't. So here's a neat feature that I thought was pretty cool. I kind of found this out on accident. So if you're in drive and you open your door to get out, you know, I won't do it right now, but watch. It shifts to park for you to make sure that the truck doesn't roll away. That's a pretty cool feature. I mean, it's pretty awesome. You don't need that in other cars, obviously, like my Cyber Beast and all that, because you open the door, it's automatically, you know, holding brake. But this also has a brake hold feature. So if I'm in drive, okay, and let's say I move a little and I hit the brakes, you see that little light that lit up? Now I let go of the brake, it's holding the car at the stoplight without me holding the brake. So a lot of cars have this feature. My Gen 2 Raptor did not. So I think that's really cool. So once again, I'll show this again. Here we go, open the door. Pretty cool. One thing that people complain about, back to cost cutting measures, is that this used to have 4 buttons. And I think what it was there was an auto stop start button and something else there. And they've changed it. So when the auto stop, when the 2025s came out, this was a 4-panel button. So what they did was they put these 2 buttons over off to the side, and they had 2 poverty blanks right here. And, you know, because they're just capped up slots where they would never have anything to put in there. And so they've redesigned this, or made a new trim piece that only has 2 buttons, and it centers them. So it looks much, much cleaner, and now people should, you know, not be complaining about that. So there's that. And I don't know what else they changed, but that's what I've noticed so far. So I'm gonna get out of this truck. Let's see. As far as power, the twin turbo V6 had a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, seat of the pants bump when the turbos really spooled up. It didn't have a lot of lag, but it, you know, by nature, turbos are just kind of sitting, and then when you have enough exhaust gas, it kind of spins them up, and then they, you know, go full boost. Supercharger is a little different. It's very, very linear because it's running off a pulley. So at low RPMs, it is what it is, and then as you get higher in RPMs, your boost goes up linearly relative to RPMs. So your performance goes up linearly. So you don't get that seat of the pants push like when the turbos kick in kind of feel with the twin turbo. But it is quick. Excuse me. It is quick, but now my point of reference is a little bit excuse me, a little bit messed up, because I have the Cyber Beast, which is 0 to 60 in like 2.8 or 2.7 or whatever that is. And then I have the Tesla Model X Plaid, which is, I mean, that's got a 0 to 60 of what, 2.3 or something like that, which is pretty insane. I mean, 0 to 60 on a Plaid is very different because it pulls all the way up to 60, of course, and it just keeps pulling at the same rate till it's done. The Cyber Beast is a little different. It initially has a lot of initial power, and then it tapers off very quickly. It runs, you know, falls flat on its face very quickly. So the Cyber Beast and the Tesla Model X Plaid are 2 very different cars as far as performance. This car, being 720 horsepower, 0 to 60 is in like maybe 4 seconds or low 4s. Maybe 4 seconds, I don't know. It doesn't feel that quick, and it's just because I'm spoiled. It's a quick truck, it's heavy, but my point of reference is a little bit skewed. But I still love the truck. It's amazing. You do have to be kind of in the higher RPMs. My biggest issue is that the truck is a little bit loud. It's not really an issue, but it's a little bit loud, which I like. I don't have a problem with that. In normal mode, it's fairly loud. So I'm finding, and I don't know why, is that people that are next to me at stoplights think I'm trying to take off, and I'm literally doing like 2,000, 2,500 RPM shifts. Like literally, it's you couldn't take off from a light any slower than me in this truck, because I'm just listening to it, enjoying the truck, but it just sounds like I'm going for it. And so the guy next to me will be like, you know, taking off, and I'm like, man, you know, it's kind of nuts. but you know, you don't really go stoplight racing with a truck this big. So there's that. But so far it's been pretty good. It's super comfortable. It got delivered. I don't know if you guys remember from my last video, those that watched it, my truck was delivered unwrapped. It was delivered without the dealer prep, because my dealer asked if I wanted to take it and unwrap it myself, and I said sure. But that meant that it came with shipping tire pressure. And so I didn't even realize it. I felt like the truck was riding a little bit rougher. It was comfortable, very smooth, but riding just a touch rougher than I remember my Gen 2. I checked tire pressures, and sure enough, they're 51. I brought them down to 39. I think it's supposed to be 40, but I keep them at 39. I found that to be the magic number on the Gen 2. And it's much more comfortable. It's very plush. Just, the thing rides so amazing. It's a great truck. And my favorite feature has to be the power tailgate. These tailgates are incredibly heavy with the step in it, and it's always been a pain. It's always pretty much a two-handed thing. If you have stuff in your hands, you're carrying stuff, it's really hard to put the tailgate up with one hand. So now you just kind of barely lift it and you drop it and it goes up, or a press on the remote and it'll go up. In fact, I have my remote. Let me try it. See if it'll do it. I haven't tried it. So it's coming down. Let's see if it'll go up. There we go. Cool. Love it. That's my favorite feature. And the truck is a little bit taller. It's a little taller than my Gen 2, probably because of the 37s. I don't think it's any different being an R. I don't know. Is it live 2.0 shocks on the R and the 37 package versus the regular 35 package? Maybe that makes it taller as well. I don't know. But anyways, there's my update. So far, so good. Gas mileage is not as bad as I thought it would be. It's got some pretty cool features, and I'm really loving this truck. See you guys next time. Bye.